皆さん、こんにちは。お元気ですか? In today's lesson, we're going to learn about double particles. This is when two particles are used together side by side. You might have noticed that so far, particles has just been one hiragana letter, but sometimes they team up with another particle to modify the meaning. Our main focus today is particle mo and see how it works with other particles in sentences with verbs. So you'll come across NEMO somewhere in today's lesson. 準備はいいですか? The particle mo means also or too in English.And in episode 19, we learned how mo is used with nouns to show similarities or shared property or shared characteristics. In today's lesson, though, we want to put the focus on how to use the particle mo with the sentence with verbs. So if I want to say, I eat pizza and I eat sushi too, then I have to follow a specific rule. To find out those rules, let's start by reviewing some of the particles that we have studied so far. Here are some of the particles we'll use in today's lesson. Wa, topic marker. O, direct object marker. Ga, subject marker. De, particle for indicating the place of action. Ni or e, particles for indicating destination or goal. Ni, particle for indicating time expressions. To, particle for indicating with someone. If you need to review these particles, you can find them in my particles playlist. So what is the rule? To put it simply, here is the conclusion. When the particle wa, o, or ga are used in the original sentence, the particle mo replaces them. However, with other particles like de, ni, or e, or another ni, which is a time reference particle, and to, the particle mo is added after the original particle, creating what we call double particles. So let's look at some examples to clarify this. Let's first see the examples of the particles getting replaced. Wa is a topic marker, o is a direct object marker, and ga is a subject marker. We replace these particles with the particle mo. Let's start with the topic marker wa. When expressing that two or more people do the same activity, you replace the topic marker wa with mo. For example, if Tanaka-san and Suzuki-san both eat sushi, we have the part お寿司を食べます in both sentences, so that part will stay the same. Since we want to show that Suzuki-san is doing the same thing also, we replace the particle wa with mo. Okay, let's try with this example. If both Tanaka-san and Suzuki-san went to Tokyo, and the shared action is expressed as 東京に行きました. How do you create this sentence? Yes, you want to say that Mr. Suzuki also did the same thing as Mr. Tanaka, so we replace the particle wa with the particle mo to indicate this similarity. Let's look at a situation where you use the direct object particle o. In this case, Suzuki-san eats both sushi and pizza. Then these sentences show the same person performs two activities. 鈴木さんはお寿司を食べます。鈴木さんはピザも食べます。Notice that Suzuki-san and the verb 食べます remains the same in both sentences because these parts are the shared elements. What changes here is what Suzuki-san is eating, and that's where the particle o is replaced with mo. So instead of ピザを食べます, it will become ピザも食べます to show that Suzuki-san eats both sushi and pizza. Let's apply this concept to another example. Tanaka-san bought both meat and fish. And please look at these two sentences. 田中さんは肉を買いました。田中さんは魚を買いました。And we need to adjust the second sentence to show that he bought both. How would you say that? そうです。Here we are marking what Tanaka-san also bought with mo by replacing the particle o. The verb 買いました remains the same because it's part of the shared action. Let's move on to the next particle, が. The particle が is used to show the existence of something. When you want to say there is something, you pair the thing you're talking about with the particle が. You'll use the verb あります for non-living things and います for living things. So let's take a look at these example sentences. ここに犬がいます。Here's a dog. ここに猫もいます。Here's a cat too. What is also there is the cat. So you change the particle が into も. Let's try this concept with this example. あそこにバス停があります。あそこに病院があります。There are a bus stop and a hospital. How do you say there's a hospital over there too? Here we are marking what exists over there with も. The location word あそこに and the verb あります remains the same because it's part of the shared property. What is also over there is the hospital, so the particle to mark 病院, a hospital, is replaced with the particle も. わかりますね? Let's confirm. With the particles は、お、and が, you replace them with も when expressing similarities or shared activities. And does that make sense? Okay, now let's move on to double particles. When using particles like で, に or え, に and と, we don't replace them with も. Instead, we add も alongside these original particles, creating double particles. So let's look at some examples. Let's begin with the particle で, which is a place of action particle. This example shows how to express that one person does the same activity in two different places, like at the library and at home. When you introduce a new location, you add も without replacing the original particle で. This combination is what we call double particles. 私は図書館で勉強します。I study at the library. 私は家でも勉強します。I also study at home. Let's try it with an example. Suppose you wait for your friend at a bus stop. You also wait for your friend at a hotel. バス停で友達を待ちます。ホテルで友達を待ちます。Please make the second sentence to show that you are waiting for your friend at both places. そうです。ホテルでも友達を待ちます。Here we keep the original particle で which marks the place of an action and add mo to indicate that you also wait at the hotel. This creates a double particle でも to show that you perform the same activity in a different location. Let's try it with destination particles ni or e. Imagine you're going to two different places. We can express this using the particle mo. For example, you go to Tokyo and you also go to Kyoto. In Japanese, you would say, 私は東京に行きます。京都にも行きます。Here you keep the destination particle ni and add mo, creating NEMO to show that you also go to Kyoto. Alternatively, you can use e in the same way because the particle ni and e are interchangeable when marking a destination. So you can also say 京都へも行きます。In both cases, you are expressing that you go to both Tokyo and Kyoto. Now it's your turn to create a sentence. Ken goes to two different places. Ken さんは大学に行きます。And Ken さんは病院に行きます。Change this sentence so it shows Ken also goes to the hospital. 病院にも行きます。You can also say 病院へも行きます。いいですね。The time reference particle に works in the same way too. Let's look at these two sentences. もよ先生は5月に日本へ行きました。もよ先生 went to Japan in May. You mark the word May with the time reference particle に. Now let's say もよ先生 also went to Japan in September. You place も with the time reference particle に and say もよ先生は9月にも日本へ行きました。So here comes NEMO again. Your turn again. Let's talk about Yukiko-san going to school on different days of the week. Yukiko さんは火曜日に学校に行きました。金曜日に学校に行きました。If Yukiko also went to school on Friday, how would you express that in Japanese? そうです。In this example, the part 学校に行きました stays the same because the action of going to school doesn't change. You just add mo to the time reference particle に、in the second sentence like this. 金曜日にも学 校に行きました。Now you're clearly showing that Yukiko went to school on Friday too. The last particle that we are going to look at is と, which is used to mean together with. Let's look at this example. もよ先生はゆきさんと日本へ行きました。Moyo sensei went to Japan with Yuki. Now, how about if I also went to Japan with Michiko? In this case, we place the particle mo after Michiko's name to show that I went with her too. So mo comes right next to the original particle to, like this. Michiko-sanとも日本へ行きました。By doing this, you're expressing that you went with Michiko as well. Let's try with this situation. Ken eats lunch with his mom. Ken さんはお母さんとランチを食べます。Ken eats lunch with his dad. Ken さんはお父さんとランチを食べます。Alright, how would you say he also eats lunch with his dad? そうです。We want to use も to show that Ken ate with both his dad and mom, so the sentence becomes ケンさんはお父さんともランチを食べます。できましたか？いいですね。それではもう一度レビューしましょう。To wrap up today's lesson, the particle も is used to indicate also or to and shows shared activities or characteristics. When using も with a sentence with a verb, it replaces the particle は or が to show similarity. However, with other particles like で ni or e, ni, and to, you simply add mo next to them, creating double particles. Keep that in mind and you'll master using mo with ease. 皆さん、もうすぐ Thanksgiving ですね。皆さんは Thanksgiving に何を食べますか？私はケーキを食べます。パンプキンパイを食べます。クリスマスにもケーキを食べます。クリスマスのデコレーションケーキです。お正月にもケーキを食べます。餅ケーキを食べますよ。1月に私のお誕生日があります。お誕生日にもケーキを食べます。バースデーケーキです。これからたくさんケーキを食べます。楽しみです。If NEMO helped you dive into double particles today, please like and subscribe to swim along with more fun lessons. もよ先生でした。またね。